presented to you, like proofs and evidences that one of the things is that we look at ourselves, the creation. This star, the galaxy, the moon. So either it was created by someone or is it self-created? So there are two options. Either it come from nothing, which is an impossibility. And the second and third possibility is either created by someone or it created through a chaos and randomness. What's your stand?
I mean,
there's not many choices, to be honest.
No, there's not. I mean, the science and the evolution argument. I think there's some important work there, some interesting work there. But I don't see like religion and science as being counterintuitive. I think they can both work hand in hand.
Absolutely.
I feel like what I like about religion, specifically Islam, although I don't know much about it, would be the ideas of community and the ideas of faith that can bring people together. That's why I like religion. I think it can be a powerful tool. I think it's to bring people together, to bring
many people
hope, things like that. But I also feel like if you lead a good life, you want to do good, you think about your neighbours, you live community, then that's important as well. That shouldn't be discredited because you're not part of a religion. So I don't know.
The whole objective of the religion is to make you grateful towards the Creator, and also the same Creator is telling to grateful towards the creation.
Exactly.
Right. But in order to follow that message, we need to have the convincing idea that this religion is actually from God. And God did exist. Like, for example, when you bring science into equation, right? Science is deal with something observable things. When we talk about God and metaphysics, these are beyond the realm of proof and examining. Do you see?
So you say it's beyond examining. So
for example, science.
You'll never know.
No. I'm saying science. The methodology of science is limited. We need to understand what is the limitation of science. If science only can deal with observable matter, then any unobservable matter cannot be examinable by science. So that's a limitation of science itself. Right. Now imagine, let me give you an example, like our eyesight does work, right? Now imagine if I go back to this way, we can maximum reach 50 miles or 100 miles through our eyesight. 500 miles away, something, we cannot see. That doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. It's just because I'm limited.
But then you're getting into quantum theory, which is then, what's it called? It's Schindler's cat or something cat, where is it saying that if you put a cat in a box and you never open that box, does that cat exist? And you will never know.
No, I think
because to see is to know something exists, but things exist without you seeing it.
No, I think the argument.
Quantum physics.
No.
So good.
I think what I am referring here is the limitation of our observable reality.
Exactly.
Right.
So if something
within
is
the cat, cat
exist,
can be observable. So that actually not a life.
If you never open the box, then you can't observe it. So then, does it truly exist?
No, I'm saying that the box doesn't work. You know why? The box is, if you never open it, means it is an observable reality. I can open it. But when I'm talking about something far, it is not beyond my capacity to do that. That's a significant distinction here. Okay, something cannot be observable, but if I observe it, because it's closer to me, I can observe it. Now, if something is beyond my observation limit, then I cannot observe it. So that this is not a exactly.
How do you know if it exists?
Right. Now, this is where
it's too far for you to see. You can't see it.
Exactly.
But you believe it to exist, and it does. That's
why?
important.
Right. That's why in Islam we say we know God through the sign. What is the sign? Sign within ourselves. We look at the creation, and we rationally conclude that because it's not observable, so I cannot use observation. Okay, if someone say I want to see God, but God is beyond the realm of our vision, so we cannot see God. Therefore, there are a lot of things in our reality we don't see. We don't see our kidneys. I don't see my great grandfather, but I never say, oh, this doesn't exist. Okay, why? How do we understand this? Through our rational logic, right? Those unseen matter. The same way we say, when we look at the creation, do we see that this creation come from nothingness, or is there a maker behind it? Logic would say, of course, I never seen such a thing in this universe that exists itself. Self-creation is an impossible thing.
No, it's not.
Tell me something. Tell me
Star.
Tell me something in this year.
Self-created, a star. They just come from atoms that come together, and then boom, the sun's formed.
Right.
That's self-created. I mean,
that's a belief.
yes.
That's a belief, right? You have not have an objective
Never
proof.
seen the star.
Exactly. Right. Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So what I'm saying, in our reality, whatever we see,
Yeah.
you would not find something that come by itself without an external agent. So this is what Quran is referring, amhumul khaliqun, that Allah is asking a question. Did the thing created by itself? If it is not come from nothing, if it is not producible by itself, then the third possibility, what do you conclude to? There is something. And then Allah defined himself. If you look at the creation itself, you see it requires power to exist. So therefore we say the creator is all powerful, because without power, things will not come into existence.
What do you mean by power?
Power means anything in this universe. Do you agree the strong nuclear force and weak nuclear force exist in this reality? By the way, the gravity. What is gravity?
It's a force of you pushing down on yourself is equal to
Not me. This is something.
mass and
Yeah,
magnetism.
this is something that exists in the reality to keeping the balance, right?
Yeah.
So these are. We look at the star. We look at the galaxy. When we look at sun, sun produce energy, right? Nobody disagree that.
Yeah.
It's a fact, right? So that energy also contain energy itself, because it's a source of power. So now, if the source of power, like imagine the creator of the sun.
Yep.
If the creator of the sun does not have power, will he give power to something else? Imagine, if I don't have a money, can I give you money?
Yeah, this is so what he's saying, we go to the definition, is the ability or capacity to do something or act. If you don't have power, you can't even invent this phone. You can't even bring this into existence. So what he's talking, there's certain attributes you've got to have. You've got to have one. You've got to have the capacity of power. You have to have intellect. You have to have a will and consciousness.
And then, so to bring it back, would you guys use that comes from Allah?
So Allah.
Is that-
The definition of Allah, we believe, is all powerful.
Yeah.
All powerful meaning everything in this universe we look at. If we just look at a glance, and we can see the demonstration of power all over. It requires power, energy, design, all of the things. Then we say these things, then Allah communicated. Now I'm intellectually convinced that the universe actually requires a powerful agent to create it. Then the same creator informed us about his attributes of what he does and what are the things doesn't suit him. For example, Allah said, Wallahu ala kulli shayin qadir. Allah is able to do anything, meaning he is so powerful. Al-Qadir is mighty, the powerful, right? So Allah is telling through his might and power, he managed this universe. He also say, وَالَّذِي يُصَوِّرُكُمْ فِي الْأَرْحَامِ كَيْفَ يَشَاءُ. Meaning, Allah create a baby in the wombs of the mother how he wills. So Allah is talking about how the baby shape and design. Allah, so we know Allah's one of the name is Musawwir. Musawwir means someone who shape it. Shape it. Shaping the design. Shape. Yeah, like for example, when we go to the doctor, we give doctor attribute because he can examine you. He has that capacity. So when we talk about creator, he has multiple attributes. Like one of the attributes is he's not just a creator, he's a shaper, he's a designer, he's a fashioner. So all of those attributes we learn from the revelation, and also some of them we can comprehend through our senses without revelation. Like for example, when we come to a conclusion there is something, then we can link back to the creation, to the creator. When we look at the creation, we can actually see who the creator is. There is a greater plan behind this creation. Therefore, Allah tell us who Allah is. Yes? Yeah. So
Before you go, brother, make it simple for him, because let him know that creator and creation is not the same.
no, but that's why I'm going there. So that's what the definition of God is very essential in Islam. Because this is the fundamental of Islam, right? This is the fundamental point of Islam to understand who the God is in Islam. Because it makes a clear distinction of a reasonable mind that who the real God is. So Allah tells us there is 4 lines here, right? There are 4 lines. Allah talks about 2 major affirmation and 2 major negation. Affirmation and negation define a person. I'll tell you, what's your name?
Louis.
Louis. Louis is a good person. It's an affirmation, right? Let me tell you a negation. And I believe Louis is not a criminal. So not a criminal is a negation that doesn't suit you. Criminal things doesn't suit you. So therefore I say Louis is not a criminal. And when I said you are a good person, this is an affirmative statement. In both, when we look at affirmation and negation together, then you will have the correct understanding of that particular person. Imagine if I just say about good about you, but if I don't explain to you bad things about you, then I'm not giving you the total expression of yourself.
But they're both positive, so how is it bad? You're saying
No.
I'm
I'm saying here, if I don't negate the things that doesn't suit you. Now imagine if someone says,
negates mean?
I'll tell you something. Now someone tell you, Louis is a magician, and but you never done magician, right? You have a right to defend yourself. Say, I am not a magician. So that's called negation. Now Allah, there are certain things by certain group of religion claim about Allah which is false. So what Allah did Allah silently state? No, He didn't silently state. He refuted those groups, and that is called negation.
Okay.
Makes sense. I'll tell you. No, I'll tell you. So there is 4 lines. So Allah said, "Qul hu Allahu ahad." Say, He is Allah who is one. So Allah is the one, not 3 in 1, not 2 in 1, just
that He's one.
only one. He's telling He is one God. Allahu Samad, Allah the sustainer, needed by all. Meaning everyone needs Him, but He doesn't need.
He's independent.
He is independent. Like for example, you need water to survive. I need water, yeah? But the Creator doesn't need water. He provides it, but He doesn't need it.
Okay.
Now, if you stop water from heaven, from the sky, if water doesn't...
So you believe heaven as well?
Yeah, so we believe heaven, but the rain doesn't come from heaven, rain comes from sky. Louis. Yeah, so the rain comes from sky. Okay?
Yep.
So this water, if Allah stop it, then it will not come to this universe, come to this world. And then if there is no rain come, there will be no vegetation. If there is no vegetation, there will be no fruits, no vegetable, no eatable items for us.
Okay.
And then what we will do? We will die eventually, right? So Allah's great support is that He is constantly providing, supplying all those necessities like oxygen, the water, everything else that functioning for ourselves and the universe. Allah is telling these are the sign of God. Meaning when you reflect those blessings, that we don't pay for it. Like imagine when we drink water or when we take oxygen, we don't actually pay anyone. We don't pay God. It's free, you know.
What about like bring politics into it?
No, I'm coming to that.
Okay.
These are foundation. Let's understand. Let's understand the foundation. Because look, in order to understand the Muslims, you need to understand why Muslims are so strong in the belief.
Yes.
And is this belief reasonably accepted or not? And does the belief has objective evidence to support it? If this is the case, then why should you not embrace for yourself? That is the question. Now,
I mean, I suppose the reason I would embrace for myself, or I might do one day, but right now it doesn't feel right. It feels like it's the rules that I feel that I get uneasy with, you know. So I feel like
let's finish that one, and I'll talk about that. Okay. Let's finish the foundation. So Allah is saying He is needed by all. Lam yalid wa lam yulad. Now He is negating. Do you remember I've given you an example that someone's telling a lie about you, but you defended yourself by saying, no, this doesn't applicable to you. Exactly. So Allah is saying He neither begets nor born. Meaning some people in some religion, they say God is son. You know, He became a human being. He took the flesh on Himself. Allah is saying this doesn't applicable to God. Because God is unlike the creation. A creation and creator are significant things. A creator is someone who creates things, and the creation are a created being. These are not same. And Allah saying, "Walam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad." There is nothing equivalent to God. So this is the God in Islam we believe in.
Okay.
Now the question is, do you believe we need to have a purpose in our life?
Yeah.
Do you believe those purpose needs to have guidance, total guidance, in order to govern ourselves?
Yeah, maybe not. I think maybe you don't need guidance.
No, but if you only believe in God,
Yeah.
then it's applicable question. That's why it's important.
So you only need guidance if the guidance comes from God.
Right? No. We say the totality of guidance comes from God.
Yeah.
You come from God. Everything else comes from God.
Right.
So therefore, God not only send you, He also send guidance so that you can live by. Imagine, Louis. Imagine. Let me give you a scenario with a godless society. Yeah. Let's say a godless society.
Yeah.
Let's say everyone else is a disbeliever.
Yeah.
Everyone has their own version of morality and guidance.
Okay.
You tell me what will happen to this universe.
Everyone has their own. I mean, you kind of see it. You get.
You cannot leave it.
That,
There will be chaos and corruption everywhere.
Not necessarily. I mean, there definitely. Yeah, I suppose. But there is chaos and corruption in this system now.
No, I'm saying in this system now, those are doing, majority are not listening to the God's command. That's right. That's the same important bit. Now,
Is that true?
it's true.
It's true. Okay.
Why you are standing for Palestinian? The same reason. The same reason you stand
Because
for.
standing for Palestine is standing for anti-imperialism everywhere.
But why do you feel this is just? Because you have this tendency of doing goodness in your heart. You would not sacrifice your weekend to supporting for Palestinians. Why do you do that? Because you have a sense of goodness within yourself.
Oh, come on, no.
Should you not say that?
No, I hear it. I can't take the compliment, that's why. But it's bigger than, like, it's not about me, it's not about us, it's about the Palestinian people that get genocide. That's realistically what the focus should be. So I appreciate you saying I'm a good person, but it doesn't matter if I'm a good person or not. You should, you know what I mean? You've got to be on the streets. You've got to be on the streets supporting Palestine to all these cameras.
Of course, we always make dua for our brothers and sisters in Palestine. Look, the real help comes from God. The real help comes from God. Because even if you look at all over the world, we have corrupt leaders,
Yes,
and we are in the hand of those corrupt people. They are ruling us, right? So what we say, we need to have guidance so that the society needs to be balanced, and that's why we
are following guidance.
Right now, let's look at a guidance from societal guidance and a religious guidance, and then you will see the daylight difference.
Okay.
In Islam, what is the rule of looking after old person?
In what, sorry?
In Islam, what is the rule of looking after old person?
Tell me.
Imagine your parents is old.
Yep.
What would you do? Would you keep with you, look after them, or would you send it to the care home?
I mean, ideally, I would want to keep them with me, but I don't know. That would be that.
You know what Allah said in the Quran? Allah said, وَقَضَى رَبُّكَ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا إِيَّاهُ وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا إِمَّا يَبْلُغَنَّ عِندَكَ الْكِبَرَ أَحَدُهُمَا أَوْ كِلَاهُمَا فَلَا تَقُل لَهُمَا أُفٍّ وَلَا تَنْهَرْهُمَا وَقُل لَهُمَا قَوْلًا كَرِيمًا. So Allah is telling, after worshipping Allah, I'm paraphrasing you, you should look after your parents. Even one of them goes old age or facing difficulties, you look after them in a kind manner and ask Allah to look after them in a way that they look after you when you are young. Look at the beautiful, right? Now look at the group of people who didn't take Allah's guidance. They are throwing their parents, the one who nurtured them whole life. They changed diapers in the night time, middle of the night time. He wetted himself through the diaper. And the same parents now. That's the reality, my brother.
Potentially. I mean, I think it's unfair because some parents aren't good to their kids. So then you've got to take that into account as well.
But I'm talking about general. I'm not talking about exception.
Well, this is...
Look, in general, parents do care for the child. In general.
But I'm saying care for a child is important, right? But sometimes what your parents can give you is not what the child needs. So you have parents that give their child the love they give the child the love that they can, but the child still ends up not complete because they don't have the love and nurturing that they need.
But I would
your point, and I understand.
I do take your point, but this is only applicable after 7 or 8. Because when you are in
No, it's applicable the whole time.
no, no, no. I'll tell you why. No.
Scientists look at
No, 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 no. I'll tell you.
children's brains,
Louis,
they can see
Louis,
their-
you may be
they
missing
take
my
on-
point. You may be missing
Okay.
my point. What I'm saying is, when you are child,
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, you don't have no choice. You be fully dependent on who your parents.
Yeah, yeah.
They changing your diapers, they change your nappies, they change your wet clothes. When you throw the food into your body, they change it, right? They wiped it, they looked after it. So at that time, they shown extreme mercy to you.
Yeah.
Why? Because you are completely unable to make any decision or any capability whatsoever. So that's time. Now imagine if they given you this kindness towards you, then grew up, and then once you become older, should you now throw the same parents to the care home?
I think if your parents have, I think if you have a good relationship with your parents, then you should look after your parents as best you can when you get older.
That's right.
But I think that I think it's difficult to put that statement on people and say you have to no matter what, because maybe you might not have a good relationship with your parents. Then what do you do in those
Now, the
scenarios?
question is, no, I think the question is what you are saying is one-dimensional. Let me bring the two-dimension, So when Allah Quran revealed the books,
Yeah.
He didn't reveal for the children to obey the parents only. Allah also telling the parents to become kind and fair to the children. So Allah is not balancing one
I
side.
see what you're saying. Yeah, okay, fair. I see.
On that, you see the beauty of Islam.
I see.
So Islam caters for everyone.
Yeah.
So Allah
But
is
you
not.
have to follow at every point, because if the parents don't,
Now-
then the children. I
No,
see your
the
point.
question is now, if we totally put together that guidance,
Yeah.
and if you offer to this world, I guarantee you there will be one injustice comes in this world. I guarantee you.
I hear it.
Now, on the hindsight, we see the human guidance are available.
Yeah.
These are the corruption of society. Why? Because human formulate those guidance from their lack of knowledge, lack of foresight, not knowing everything. And what we believe, God guidance is absolutely true and wise, because He knows past, present, and future. So therefore, He is fully aware of the situation of morality, justice, the kind,
Yeah.
the finance. For example, let me give you another example.
Okay, last example. Then
Last
I'll
example.
Last example.
This is a financial example.
Okay.
In this world, when we look at the bankers, right?
Yeah.
They make money through interest,
For
exploitation, right?
Yeah.
Do you agree? Before I use it, you used it, Louis. So you are ahead of me, and I don't need to explain it. But Islam gives counter argument. Allah tells us that rich people should give from their money, that what Allah given him, that he should
it's
give
called something, isn't it?
Exactly. Give 2.5%. Yeah,
isn't it?
it's zakat.
Yeah,
Zakat.
yeah.
So now zakat is going against to the notion of making rich richer, poor poorer. Zakat is telling, or zakat system is such a way that it brings balance to the society.
Yeah.
Because if rich become more richer and poor gets more poorer, then you have millions of poor people, and a handful amount of wealth to distribute. And what they do, because the wealth is limited, then they fight for this limited wealth. And that's why we point towards these poor people, why they're making crime. But in the first place, we already make them commit the crime because we already stole their stuff. Islam comes and make the solution and tells, okay, rich, Allah provided you, you should give 2.5% of your excessive wealth. Then if all the rich people in the world give 2.5%, there will be no one hungry.
I mean, I agree. They need to give up more than 2.5%, but yeah, I do agree.
So the whole point of the summary is, if we take the guidance of God, then this world will be a different place than what we are seeing now. There will be no injustice, no crime, no immoralities. At the moment, people's life is not sacred. Allah tells us, if one life has been killed, as you kill entire humanity, and if you save one life, as if you save all the humanity. This is the guidance from Allah. And look at, you stand for Palestinian, and you know how brutally the children are being killed day and night, and they have no dignity given by the society. They've been killed, butchered. Look at the women. They cannot even find their, the usual stuff. Nothing available there. No food, no water. So, end of the day, why Muslims are so strong? I would say one thing is the belief, and that belief was not just a subjective belief. That belief can be objectively looked into. Okay, if you want to go through the guidance wise, you will see Islam propose the best guidance. Wallahi.
Of course you say that.
No. I'm saying
Okay.
you can only find out that way. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Put worldly guidance against the Islamic guidance
Yep.
and look into both sides in deeper way.
Okay.
In distribution of wealth, you will have to look at how Islam given the rules of distribution of wealth, and then on the hindsight how the society given us the direction. And you will see when you look into both and evaluate, you will see why this guidance is unique and why it is a solution for humanity.
Okay. It's been a pleasure. It's been
Yeah,
so good to talk to you.
Louis, I think I've said so much, but do you have any question anymore?
No. If you want,
But
is this going somewhere? Can I watch
Yeah,
it?
I'll give you that. So, what one thing that strikes you in that conversation?
I mean, the thing that I find so interesting is you have a answer for everything that's not about trying to like. You have an answer that links Islam,
Yeah.
but also is in the real world, and
Exactly.
so it's important. I find it interesting, and I find it very convincing.
I really appreciate that you taken your time, and
Yeah,
of course,
it's been good to talk to you.
yeah, exactly, and the same way, and I wish you all the best because you stand for something which we also stand for. We always stand for the weak. We always stand for oppressed people. We will always stand for the less fortunate people.
Yeah. Free Congo, free Sudan, free Palestine. Come on.
Free Palestine, yeah. Louis, anyway, I'll give you a copy of the Quran and I'll share you the channel, then you can
Yeah,
see it.
thank
All right, let me come. So you can watch it in.
I'm sorry, my head does not play anything.
That's okay. That's okay. No. So that's the pack. That's the pack where this talks about why Prophet Muhammad is the last messenger. So there is some objective.
That's another. You got Alan and Prophet Muhammad. Is that?
Yeah, Muhammad is the last and final messenger. So we believe Jesus Christ is the messenger of God.
I see. Yeah.
Moses is the messenger of God. So God always send messenger so that people can worship God. They should not worship the messenger. The problem is people started worshipping messenger instead of the God.
I see.
That's why always God send messenger
And
to clarify
that's the other religions where they're different.
Exactly.
I see,
So
okay.
this is the main difference. Where Islam, we only truly worship Allah alone without giving this share of worship to anybody else. And this is where we differ from him heavily with Christianity, where they worship Jesus Christ and they make him as son of God, and then they revere the way God should be revered. And we say you should not give the rights of God to someone else because that only belongs to him. Okay, so this would be a very, and this is the translation of the Quran, and then some other leaflet, But anyway, it was such a pleasure to talk to you.
So good to talk to you.
Thank you. Look after yourself. Pleasure. What channel will be that? This one? Sam Dawah, SF Dawah, and I think Dawah to Soul. Sam Dawah, SF Dawah, Dawah to Soul, and inshallah you'll be able to. Louis, I would love to see you again.
We'll talk again.
All together.
Yeah.
Let's catch up next week. Are you here? Or?
Sounds good. I'll see you then.
I'll see you then. Thank you.
Last one for you, Aziz bhai.
Yeah, let me take one. So the brother actually coming from Palestinian March, and he has some goodness that he always like to stand for oppressed people. And I said, okay, why not accepting Islam as a package? And Islam is not something that a subjective belief that everyone chose by ourselves. We have a lot of objective proofs and evidences that shows that Islam is the religion from God. And then, of course, we talk about the guidance from the Islamic perspective, and on the hindsight, what are the societal guidance? And I have given two examples. One example is when Allah tells us to look after our elderly parents. And then we talked about zakat from the financial point of view. And I showed that the difference between what the society offers as a guidance and what Islam offers as a guidance, and how Islamic guidance is much superior and more convincing and a solution for humanity. So I hope Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide him to Islam. He looks very sincere. Do not forget to make dua. This is the things we need to keep, remind ourselves, reminding to myself and to you, everyone as well. Please make dua for our brothers and sisters in Palestine. Jazak Allah Khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Alhamdulillah. He looks sincere.
Yeah. You'll accept.
Amin.